Hello you guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, you're watching Booked on Charity, and in today's video I will be going through a list of my 5-star predictions for 2024. Now I made this list based on the books that I have physically, so I'm not including any new releases that I don't own yet, even though there are some that I think will be 5-star reads, but we'll get into that later. I am having some iced coffee. It is currently 8:48 in the evening. I just finished my work day. It has been a long day, but for some reason I've got this ounce of energy and I've got some makeup on, so I thought let me pick up my camera and record something. So I've got a stack of books here next to me. I think I have about 18 books. I have a bunch of fantasies and sci-fi. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know that these two mostly are the genres that I gravitate towards. And I've got some thrillers. I've got a romance, which is kind of strange for me. And I also have a middle grade book, which I think I'm going to love. So without wasting any more time, let's get into this video. Starting with my middle grade, this has been an anticipated book for me for a very long time, and I feel like every other time I would go to the bookshop, I would just go to that middle grade section or the children's section and just go and look at that book, wait for it to go on sale. It never went on sale, so I was just like, you know what, I really want to read this, and let me just grab it. And that is Nevermore, and the series is called Nevermore. Book 1 is called The Trials of Morgan Crow. I believe that this is going to be a 5-star read. I have heard only good things about this book and this series from people who enjoy reading middle grade. This is by Jessica Townsend, by the way, and I am just so excited to read it. I think as soon as I get over these thick chunky books that I'm currently reading, I want to get into some of the short books that I have on my TBR, because I haven't been able to finish a book in quite some time. And what better way than to get like a middle grade, which is quick, easy to read. They're usually whimsical, and I believe that this will probably be whimsical as well. So at the back it says, "Step boldly, Morgan Crow is cursed, destined to die on her 11th birthday. But as the clock strikes midnight, she's whisked away by a remarkable man called Jupiter North and taken to a secret city of Nevermore. There, she's invited to join the wondrous society. Mystery, magic, and protection are hers if she can only pass 4 impossible trials using an exceptional talent, which she doesn't have." So I think this is also I have never even read the synopsis. This is literally the first time I've read the synopsis. I just went off the whim that so many people love this book, so many people recommend this book, and I just want to read it. I just want to have fun. I didn't even know that this was the premise, but I'm really excited right now. And then for my romance pick, I've got Love in Color, because what else could I put on here? And this is by Bolu Babalola. So this is a collection of short stories of mythical tales from around the world retold. So it is a collection of love stories, and I believe that we are following mainly female characters in all of the stories, and I've heard only amazing things about Love in Color, and I just can't wait. And then getting into my sci-fis, the first one is not going to be a surprise to you guys. It's Dark Age by Pierce Brown. This is book 5 in the Red Rising series. I absolutely loved book 1. Obsessed with book 2, got shocked by book 3, but it kind of like mellowed out, and I'm right now in the process of rereading book 4 because I think that I rushed through it. So I'm mostly just listening to it during my commute so that I can just get those bits of information, and it's reading more like the first book in a series about characters you already met and loved and all that. So it's kind of like we're building up again, and I'm really excited for this one because I think this is where the real crux, the real action is, like, it's really gonna come out. And I've heard really good things about Dark Age. I can't wait. I can't wait to pick it up. So Red Rising is a story following a main character called Darrow, and Darrow is a red, and what that means is that they are the lowest of this caste system that's based on colors. They moved from Earth to Mars, where Earth was getting overpopulated and dying out, and humanity wanted to like find new life or build new life on Mars. So they sent these quote-unquote pioneers, which are the Reds, to go and mine for the substance called helium-6 to 1, terraform Mars so that it's livable, and 2, to use that helium-6 to get as fuel for transportation, basically from Earth to the moon to other planets, until something happens tragic and Darrow finds out that the world is not as he was told it is, and he found that him and his people have been lied to by the highest caste members of the society, which are the gods, and he goes about to enact his revenge. Essentially, this is a whole big revenge story, and I absolutely love it. And yeah, if you haven't picked up Red Rising, please do. Absolutely love it. It will forever be one of my favorite sci-fi series to ever read. Another one that I'm really interested in is Gideon the Ninth by Tesman Muir, and this is a sci-fi about necromancers, and I believe that there's queer characters in here. So at the back it says Tesman Muir's Gideon the Ninth unveils a solar system of swordplay, cutthroat politics, and lesbian necromancers. Her characters leap off the page as skillfully animated as necromantic skeletons. The result is a heart-pounding epic science fantasy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. The last couple of sentences is exactly what I look forward to in an epic fantasy. I want that heart pounding. I want to be stressed out for these characters, and I think this book is definitely going to get me there, and I cannot wait to finally pick it up. I think probably my one reason for not having picked up this book yet is because I don't have the other books in the series, and they are not available locally, or that I've seen. Like, I haven't seen these books anywhere. Like, this copy I had to buy internationally, and it's not cheap to buy internationally. So yeah, South African bookshops, please make Gideon the Ninth and Hera the Ninth and Nona the Ninth available for us, because I think a lot of people would like it. I think give us a chance and get these books locally, because I am so excited, but I'm afraid to read it without having the sequels, because I think it's going to break me, and I'm gonna be stressed out that I don't know how the story continues. So yeah, looking forward to Gideon the Ninth. And then another one that I also bought on a whim because I heard good things, and it also screams epic sci-fi, is Leviathan Wakes, which is book 1 in the Expanse series, which is also now a Prime original series. But I first want to read the series before even attempting to watch anything. I've already bought myself the first 3 books in this series and I haven't even picked up one, and I was going crazy last year buying a book a month, because somehow in my head I was convinced that they're gonna run out, and there's like 8 books in the series. So I really hope that I enjoy them, because I want to kind of go back to buying the rest of the books in the series in this trade paperback copies. And yeah, I'm interested. So this one at the back, it says, welcome to the future. Humanity has colonized the solar system, Mars, the moon, the asteroid belt, and beyond, but the stars are still out of their reach. Jim Holden is exo of an ice miner, making runs from the rings of Saturn to the mining stations of the belt. When he and his crew stumble upon a derelict ship, the Scopuli, they find themselves in possession of a secret they never wanted. A secret that someone is willing to kill for, and kill on a scale unfathomable to Jim and his crew. War is brewing in the system unless he can find out who left the ship and why. Detective Miller is looking for a girl, one girl in a system of billions, but her parents have money and money talks. When the trail leads him to the Scopula and rebel sympathizer Holden, he realizes that this girl may be the key to everything. Holden and Miller must thread the needle between the Earth government and the outer planet revolutionaries and secret operations, and the odds are against them. But out in the belt, the rules are different, and one small ship can change the fate of the universe. Looking forward to this one. And then a book that I picked up, not because I knew what it was about, but I really liked the cover. And after I bought it and then read the synopsis, I was like, this is quite interesting, because it's giving like mind bending, which is really a thing for me, and I absolutely love that in both my books and TV shows or movies that I watch. And it is called The Binding, and this one is by Bridget Collins. In the front it says, imagine you could hide a secret forever. Emmett Farmer is a binder's apprentice. His job is to handcraft beautiful books, and within each to capture something unique and extraordinary, a memory. If you have something you want to forget or a secret to hide, he can bind it and you will never have to remember the pain it caused. In a vault under his mentor's workshop, row upon row of books and secrets are meticulously stored and recorded. Then one day Emmett makes an astonishing discovery. One of the volumes has his name on it. Ugh. This like obviously like a mystery element now to this, because it's like who wrote a book about you to forget something about you, or maybe about I don't know, but I'm looking forward to finding that out. So I'm really excited to read this one, and I'm happy that I've got book 2 already on my shelves. So, and a book that I tried to get onto my TBRs the whole of last year because I heard such amazing things is Little Thieves. Can we have a moment for the stunning cover? It's Little Thieves by Margaret Owen, and it says, once upon a time there was a beautiful, kind princess and her wicked maid. One day the wicked maid stole the princess's face, and with it her name, her betrothed, everything. The princess had to toil away as a servant while her maid lived like a queen. When the maid was caught, she died for her crimes, and the princess lived happily ever after. Or that is how the story has been told. Now it's time to hear the other side of the story. So excited. I feel like everything we know here is going to be twisted upside down, and I can't wait for the plot twist in this one. I've heard good things. I've heard that the writing is really nice as well in this book. So yeah, looking forward to finally picking this one up this year. Another book that I tried to read last year, but I think I just got overwhelmed with the amount of books and different things that I had to read for different reasons, that I started to put it on hold because I was just reading this for myself to prioritize other things. And then for some reason I didn't find my way back, and that is The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. This is the first book in the Mistborn trilogy, the first era of Mistborn trilogy, and it's everybody's favorite, or this trilogy specifically is everybody's favorite. I'm not sure which book people would like the most, but I had started it. I have a bookmark in here, but I'm definitely going to go back and restart this book because I think it's going to be great. I've heard only good things about this trilogy, and I can't wait to finally get back on my Brandon Sanderson run this year. I recently bought a book by Brandon Sanderson that is book 4 part 2 of some other series he wrote. Like, this is where I wanted to start, with Brandon Sanderson, and yeah, I think for me this is the easiest to start, and then after I'm done with this trilogy, because I have all 3 books, then I can figure out where I'm gonna go next in terms of the series that he's written. The next book is a sequel to a book that I read in 2022, and I really loved it, and I gave it a 5-star rating, and I really believe that I'm gonna give book 2 a 5-star rating, but I'm a little nervous because a lot of people did not love it as much as they did book one, and I'm hoping that is not the case for me. I'm hoping that I love it as much as well, and that is The Atlas Paradox by Olivia Blake. I've also recently just got book 3. They're all so beautiful, these books, and I can't wait to get into this one. I keep saying that before I read this I need to just go back a chapter or two in the Atlas 6 just to reread the plot twist, because it blew my mind. I love me a good plot twist. It blew my mind, and I'm interested to pick up wherever we left off and see how this book continues from book 1. And yeah, I hope it's a good one. I'm not going to read the synopsis of this one because it's probably going to be spoiler for me. So yeah, probably you even know what the Atlas 6 is about, but it's essentially categorized as a dark academia following 6 students who go to this university wherever they go, and they studying they have magical abilities, and they studying how to basically control that. And then they get chosen or get invited to be part of this kind of like secret society, which is also still somewhat of a school. And they invite the 6, they accept the 6, but as they start, they tell them that, you know, 6 of you started, but only 5 will come out of this, but they don't tell them how the 5 will come out of it. And they give you, like, you are sworn to secrecy as you join this secret society, obviously, but then they give you the promise of teaching more about your powers, as well as unlocking this massive library of information to get to know how to explore your power even more. And yeah, there's a lot of character building in the books. I did have a favorite character, and I can't wait to get back to the story and figure out what they have figured out about their powers and how they grow in the story. So looking forward to continue with the series. Another book that I was so excited when it came out, because I was like, epic fantasy, and this one even has gothic elements to it. I was just like, I feel like this book is gonna keep me on my toes, but for some reason I have not picked it up yet, and I really want to give it some time this year. I feel like I'm getting very comfortable with like reading chunky books and allowing them to take as much time as they take for me to read them and just enjoy the process. I think last year I was at some point very concerned about the number of books that I read, that I was just trying to complete books as quickly as possible, whereas this year I'm more on the savoring the reading, which is what has happened this month of February. So yeah, and that is Ordinary Monsters, and this is by J.M. Miro. And at the back there's a bunch of reviews, and Corn Eagledon, who's the best-selling author of the Emperor series, says terrific, a book that creeps up on you wearing brass knuckles. Hey, it's gonna beat you down. And then Joe Hill, who's the best-selling author of Heart-Shaped Boxes, a dazzling mountain of wild intervention, Dickensian eccentric supernatural horrors, and gripping suspense. Be warned, once you step into this penny dreadful, to all penny dreadfuls, you will never want to leave. And Tamara Pierce, who's author of Trickster's Choice, says it is haunting, tense, earth-shattering, a riveting mix of magic and terror. Oh, I can't wait. And this is historical fantasy. I can't wait. I feel like I don't even want to read the synopsis of this one, because they talk about suspense as well, and I can't wait to read this one. Also, I really love this cover. I think it's so nice. I think it's nice. It's not pretty, but I think it's nice. One that has a really pretty cover is the Hurricane Wars, and this one is by Thea Guanzon. Look at it. just look at it. This is a 2023 release, and I heard good things about it. It says the Night Empire casts a long shadow over the land. Nothing can stand in the way of its might and power. Year by year, the hurricane wars take and take, and yet there is hope in the darkness. One lone light stands against the empire. Taliesin was left on the steps of an orphanage as a baby, with deadly light magic as her only inheritance. All she has ever known is the hurricane wars as her people fight against the tyranny of the Night Empire, and she struggles to hide the gift that ignited the conflict. Oh, interesting. Alaric of House Osinust, master of the Shadow-Forged Legion and heir to the Empire, has been honed into a weapon with one goal: extinguish all threats with his armies and his stormships and his shadow magic. But when a new horror emerges, one that promises even more devastation, only Taliesin and Alaric can stop it. Will these mortal foes be able to come together, or will they end up destroying each other and their world? Oh, this is a guy, this is a man. At first glance, I thought it was like two women, but it was like shadow and light. Isn't it also giving like Shadow and Bone vibes? It is, right? This is interesting. So there's the male character and there's a female character. So pretty. So pretty. They're probably gonna fall in love. We know this. We know this. Okay. Another one that I have has been a recommendation from Katleho, and she's like, she loved it. And she borrowed me this copy, and she has tabbed this copy. This is a short book, and she's tabbed it. And Alexis Henderson said it is thrilling and seductive, and I really liked Alexis Henderson's book as well. And in the front it says desire, obsession, control. And the book I'm talking about is A Dowry of Blood, and this is by S.T. Gibson. At the back it says, this is my last love letter to you, though some will call it a confession. Saved from the brink of death by a mysterious stranger, Constanta is transformed from a medieval peasant into a bride fit for an undying king. But when Dracula draws a cunning aristocrat and a starving artist into his web of passion and deceit, Constanta realizes that her beloved is capable of terrible things. And this is all I'm going to read because this is such a short book and I don't want to spoil too much for myself, but I'm really interested in this one. I've never read Dracula or even watched Dracula, but this is basically the tale of Dracula's first bride, Constanta. So looking forward to that one. Another new release that I've heard good things about is the first book in a Crowns of Nyaxia, I think I'm saying that correctly, novel. This is book 1 and it is called The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and I believe this series is a duology. Yes, what? The Nightborn Duet, book 1, or maybe maybe there's like part 1, part 2, I don't know, but this is the Nightborn Duet, book 1, but it's part of Crowns of Nyaxia series, I guess, and this is by Carissa Broadbent. Also really love this cover. I think it's so stunning. It says the Hunger Games meets vampires in this heart-wrenching epic fantasy romance. Those are the words I want to hear. Okay, of dark magic and bloodthirsty intrigue from best-selling author Carissa Broadbent, the adopted human daughter of the Nightborn vampire king Araya carved her place in a world designed to kill her. Her only chance to become something more than prey is to enter the Kajari, a legendary tournament held by the goddess of death herself. But winning won't be easy against the most vicious warriors from all 3 vampire houses. A vampire story, yeah, we love it. To survive, Oriah is forced to make an alliance with a mysterious rival. Everything about Rain is dangerous. He is a ruthless vampire, an efficient killer, an enemy to her father's crown, and her greatest competition. Yet, what terrifies Oriah most of all is that she finds herself strangely drawn to him. Love is coming our way in this book. But I'm so excited to read this. I really think this is going to be one of the best fantasy romance books that I read in 2024. I don't know, I just feel in my gut that it's gonna be so good, and I can't wait to read it. Oh, and then a book that I've had going on 2 years. How long have I had this book? But I'm holding off on it because I have to read a whole trilogy before I even get to this one. And I'm talking about Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. Also stunning cover, and this is book 1 in the Last Hour series. But before this, I want to read the Lost Artifices series trilogy. So it says, an inheritance of shadows, a love in chains, an unconquerable foe. Cordelia Costes is a shadow hunter, a warrior trained since childhood to battle demons. When her father is accused of a terrible crime, she and her brother travel to London in hopes of preventing the family's ruin. Cordelia's mother wants to marry her off, but Cordelia is determined to be a hero rather than a bride. Soon, Cordelia encounters childhood friends James and Lucy Herondale and is drawn into their world of glittering ballrooms, secret assassinations, and supernatural salons where vampires and warlocks mingle with the mermaids and magicians. All the while, she must hide her secret love for James, who is sworn to marry someone else. Yeah, the drama of it all, but I can't wait. I've heard good things about these series and books from the Shadow Hunter series, and I can't wait to get into this one. I am not going to go into like the mortal instruments and the infernal devices, but I said the Lost Artifices. It's not. It's the Dark Artifices that I need to read before I get into this one. Book 1 is Lady Midnight, and then Lord of Shadows, and then Queen of Air and Darkness is the last book. Then I can get into this one, which I believe that I'm going to absolutely love, which is why I invested in these hardcovers, man. Okay, last book from my fantasy pile, which you've probably heard me talk about so much. But bear with me, okay? I haven't even read this book, but bear with me. I feel like this book is going to get like 10 stars from me. But it is The First Binding by R.R. Verdi. This one is like top on my list of next books to read. I think I have about 3 books that I have to read just before I start this one, but I can't wait to get into this chunker. It says, all legends are born of truth and just as much lies. These are mine. Judge me for what you will, but you will hear my story first. I buried the village of Amper under a mountain of ice and snow. Then I killed their god. I've stolen old magics and been cursed for it. I started a war with those that walked before mankind and lost the princess I loved and wanted to save. I've called lightning and bound fire. I am legend. I am a monster. My name is Ari, and this is the story of how I let loose the first evil. Ugh. I cannot get over this synopsis. It's like one of the best synopses I've ever read. It just gets me excited every single time I read it, and I can't wait. I can't wait, but I also don't want to rush through my current reads just to get here. And yeah, I'm looking forward to this book so much. All right, on to the Lost Stack, which is my thriller section. I only have 3 books, so bear with me. Firstly, I've got Anna Oh, and this one is by Matthew Blake. This is also another one that I think is like high up on my list, which I'd probably want to add after The First Binding because I'm reading a lot of fantasy right now. But it's the synopsis. It is the synopsis. It is the premise that's gotten me like, what is going on, Anna? What is going on? What have you done or what have you not done? What is going on? Because, you know, you can't just believe what you see right in front of you. You need to just dig deep and figure out the mystery behind it all. But it says Anna O hasn't opened her eyes in 4 years, not since the night she was found in a deep sleep by the bodies of her best friends, suspected of a chilling double murder. For Dr. Benedict Prince, a forensic psychologist on London's Harley Street, waking Anna O could be career-defining. As an expert in sleep, he knows all about the darkest chambers of the mind, the secrets that lie buried in the subconscious. As he begins Anna O's treatment, studying his patient's dreams, combing her memories, visiting the site where the horrors played out, he pulls on the thread of a much deeper, darker mystery. Exactly what we are here for in this book. I can't wait. And the last sentence says, awakening Anna O isn't the end of the story. It's just the beginning. And then we'll really find out what happened on that one fateful night. Oh, I'm so excited for this next book. I received this book because the synopsis sounded interesting, but I didn't realize what this book was until I received a copy of it. And it is called The Turned Glass. Did you see what I just did there? It literally flips to like mirror itself. And I think this is so cool. So it's literally exactly the same cover on the other side, but there's a difference with the picture inside. So in there, on the blue side, it looks like the building is different. It looks a bit more older, whereas on the red side, it looks more like a modern building. It is also taking place in 2 separate timelines, and I just want to read it for you. Like, I don't want to read the individual synopses for the different books. Also, it's flippable, you guys. It's flippable. So it says The Turned Glass. I just want to show you maybe something that it is. I found this to be so cool. So for example, this is chapter 1 and it is set in 1939 in Los Angeles, right? You saw this is for the red side of the book, and then you flip it around and you get chapter 1 in London, 1881. And I just thought this is so cool. So let me just read what it says. So it does have a synopsis for each of the different timelines, which I'm not going to read, but I'll read what this type of book is. So it says Tete Bichet, a book split in 2 parts, printed back to back and head to foot, like flipped, and it is a French term for head to foot, or it says etymology, French lit, head to foot. So it says, I have recently bought a Tete Bichet. It is a beguiling thing. 2 stories are printed in mutual inversion. One reads the first, then turns the book over and reads the other. These tales are intertwined and parasitic, beguiling, and I think a little strange too. So it doesn't even tell you which story to start with. So I guess that's like up to you to decide which I think adds more to the excitement and the interesting element of this story. So it says on the other side, in the 18th century, publishers resorted to printing 2 books back to back and turned upside down. They call these unique works Tete Bichet novels. They are strange to read nowadays, and the modern bibliophile can find it disconcerting to read one tale and then flip the book over to read another from the opposite direction, only to discover that everything they thought they knew was an inversion of the truth. This, I can't wait, you guys. I can't wait for that reading vlog where I sit down and read this book, flip it over, and then read the other part. I think I'm gonna be like just gasping and screaming the whole time because that's the kind of reader I am. But I can't wait. I can't wait. It is literally, I don't know if you can even tell, probably my light is gonna do things, and then on the other side it actually becomes inverted. And I even went to kind of like the middle of the book to see where the ending is, to just check if the ending is the same, and it's not. It's different endings. So I don't know, I feel like I would want to start with reading the part that happens more in the future, the 1939 setting, and then go back to reading 1881. I think it will give me a sense of, this is what you think you know, but look at what happened before, type thing. And I don't even know if we follow the same characters or not, but I had turned back and looked at this page where, you know, it shows the end, and then there's an hourglass, and then when you page through, it's actually like flipped over, and then we've got the end again, but it's a different ending. This is so cool. This is so cool, and I can't wait to explore what this book has in store. Another one that I'm really excited for, because I really loved the other book, which was a psychological thriller, which my favorite type of thriller is The Fury by Alex Michaelides. I learned now how to say the surname because I heard him say it on TikTok. But it's Alex Michaelides, and it's called The Fury. This is his latest release, and it says, on an idyllic private Greek island, former movie star Lena Farrar, an old friend, invites a select group of us to stay. It will be hot, sunny, perfect, a chance to relax and reconnect, and maybe a few hidden truths to come out. But nothing on this island is quite what it seems. Not Lena, not her guests, certainly not the murderer, furiously plotting their crime. But who am I? My name is Elliot Chase, and I'm going to tell you a story unlike you've never heard. I'm looking forward to this one. I hope that it's got the same kind of like psychological, mind-bending, thriller-esque setting as The Silent Patient, which I really enjoyed. I can't say that I'm the best person at like figuring out the mystery, but also I think that is a plus for me in enjoying a lot of these mysteries, because when I'm shocked, I'm like, oh, this is good. But also if I'm reading a good mystery or thriller that is keeping me so engaged, I don't have time to sit there and try to figure it out. I'm just like, I just want to read the next sentence and the next sentence and the next sentence. I don't care. I don't care to think in the future of what could be going on. I'm just like going on the ride, you know, to just see what the author is going out to give us. But yeah, that is the last book of my 5-star predictions. I've got a lot of books, and I'm really hoping that I can get to all of these books in 2024. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you have any 5-star predictions for this year. List them in the comments. Maybe I can find a book or two to add to my list as well, or my radar. And yeah, if you made it this far in this video, give me 5 stars in the comment, and remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Click that like button, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.